tonight on Handful of Handsome. The latest in current events. Cute animals. Celebrity guest, Matt Damon. The real scoop on 50 Shades of Grey, live from the TV10 studios. Handful of Handsome.
It is good. It is good to be back for another episode of Handful of Handsome. I'm a little hard of hearing, so I can't really tell if my studio audience is still clapping. It looks like they're clapping, but I can't. Oh, okay. My hearing aid, the battery was out. All right. So, episode 2, season 2, Handful of Handsome, and thank you.
I'll take it.
Oh, all right. They stopped. Okay, so it's gonna be a big show lined up. We got a little bit of a late start, a little bit of a weird time slot, but if you've tuned in, you are ready for some magic. Now, let me tell you, we're having some new segments. Man on the Street, we went to go see how politically informed, how up-to-date students are with news. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. We got celebrity guest, Matt Damon, and he's going to be so excited. I know, right?
It's really him. It's definitely Matt Damon, and not anybody else.
It's
for sure.
It's absolutely Matt Damon. It may seem in Saving Private Ryan, but he was in it, and he's here.
The budget cuts, they can't put us back. They won't put us back.
They won't hold us down. We may have blown all of our budget on a new intro and Matt Damon, but it's worth it.
It's costing you guys a lot of money.
So we're hoping your expectations were already low because they're not going to be any higher. All right. Oh, and also, of course, we can't forget Real Talk with Clay Davis.
There should be some laughter, I think. That's a fair.
Laughter is always nice. It's the joy of life.
Yeah.
Real Talk with Clay Davis. We'll be looking at movie reviews. This week is the enigmatic 50 Shades of Grey.
That should be a steamy. Clay's got some excerpts from the movie. I think it's might need some fans in here. It's gonna get hot.
We're gonna need some fans and some ball gags. What can I say? Because I'm gonna be going like the whole time. All right. So moving on. Man on the Street. You know, being a university student, you expect that, everyone's always well informed, but actually it can be hard to keep up, I'll be thinking about chemistry, I'll be thinking about, the brain and other body parts. But, and so it's hard to keep up with the news sometimes. And, even though we've got free newspapers, sometimes you don't want to read a newspaper. You'd rather just read a little blurb about Beyonce, getting touched up on the makeup, not wearing makeup. It's a big deal these days.
Yeah, I agree. We got some couple students' opinions, and it's a good time, and they gave us some good feedback, I think.
Yeah, I was surprised, but let's not let us speak for you. Let's let our video speak for you. Roll the clip.
This past week, Tyler and I went to Davies to get a few students' opinions on some current events. First up, in a new time of cyber threats, we covered the group Anonymous attacking ISIS. Anonymous managed to shut down 800 reported ISIS Twitter accounts. Additionally, in a new video posted Friday, Anonymous sent another warning to ISIS, saying, "You will be treated like a virus and we are the cure. We own the internet."
All right, so I'm here with Michael. Thank you for meeting with me, Michael.
Thank you, Tyler.
So, just going to ask you a few questions about some current events.
All right.
Have you heard of ISIS and Anonymous?
I have heard of both ISIS and Anonymous. Anonymous has been around since basically the dawn of social internet, but ISIS is relatively new. Islamic State, Iran and Syria, or what is the Levant, but Syria basically. Terrorist group that's gaining holds in the Middle East. Their main recruiting ground is online right now, actually. That's how they're getting a lot of Europeans, especially in Germany.
I'm Luke here, and we're here with Carissa. Are you familiar with ISIS or Anonymous?
Yeah, I'm familiar with ISIS, but this is my first time hearing about Anonymous.
Yeah, it's a scary deal to think that people have the power to do that.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that they're using like video games too to recruit younger people.
Are they?
Yeah, like realistic video games. Arma 3, I think is the name of one, and yeah, they have like mods to make it look like certain people. That's crazy. So do you have a Twitter? Do you?
I do.
Yeah. Do you worry about anyone hacking yours, or
What would they get out of that?
just make mostly jokes? Or do?
Yeah.
That's about right. Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on cyber terrorism and what it could mean, kind of going along with that same last question?
Yeah. I definitely think cyber terrorism is something that could potentially be a huge issue. Like, if you look at the whole case that happened with Sony Pictures in the interview that happened a few weeks ago.
I think with cyber terrorism is interesting because it's a new field. We spent 100 years or so dealing with like real terrorism, but cyber terrorism, especially because so much important information is transmitted wirelessly, that it doesn't take too much work to get like vital satellite information from the U.S., for example. But I think the agencies that are at risk are more prepared than the people who are trying to take them down.
Waiting last year, or it might have been a couple of years ago, if you had any thoughts on the NSA spying scandal, because I think, like, I don't mind it so much. I mean, it's an invasion of privacy, but I think if you're the average citizen, you don't really need to worry.
Yeah.
The NSA is pretty much unconstitutional and illegal, but I don't think it's necessary. I think it was started out of fear in the wake of 9/11, and we've let it run too long.
Yeah, I agree. Things have gotten. I mean, we're all very paranoid now, and there's a certain line that's been crossed a few times.
With a large controversy over the proposed UW budget cuts, we asked Michael and Carissa what they thought.
So, on a more local level, the budget cuts.
Oh, yes.
With Governor Walker, I'm sure everyone's got a lot to say about it. But what do you personally think?
I actually, do you know about the rally that happened on Friday against the budget cuts?
Here?
Yeah.
Here? Oh no, I missed. I don't know how I could have missed it, but
Yeah, it was like 300 or 400 people. We had the UWEC College Democrats.
oh wow.
It was a nonpartisan rally, but
Yeah, I've heard quite a bit about them. I'm studying to be an education teacher major. And so what Walker has proposed for the UW system and what he's done in the past with other school funding for like the K through 12 has definitely been on my radar information.
Yeah, that's definitely relevant.
yes, big implications are non-tenured faculty are automatically at risk. So, for example, the Women's Studies Department at Eau Claire, which is incredible, especially for a smaller Midwestern school, the women's department is at risk of just being gone. Like we will no longer have women's courses. And then class sizes will go up, and then we'll have to pay more for tuition because you won't be able to get into classes you need, so you'll have to take another semester. It's just a chain.
In more of an entertainment light, hundreds of teens rushed a theater in Florida in an orchestrated riot, interrupting couples during their steaming showing of 50 Shades of Grey.
It was in
Of course
Florida.
it was Florida.
Bias against Florida.
Come on, it's Florida. If that was going to happen anywhere.
Yeah, the poor geriatric people probably got it the worst there.
I did read the book.
I read some excerpts from it out of context, and I was just like, it's fan fiction.
I mean, yeah, it's poorly written as literature, just like syntactically it's poorly written. And the way it portrays the BDSM culture is irresponsible and dangerous, and that it's an abusive relationship and not a healthy relationship. And I think people need to understand that going into this.
I went with a couple of friends. They all read the books. I haven't, so it was sufficiently awkward at the beginning. But I don't know. It wasn't that bad.
Welcome back. You know, it was interesting to see how well informed the student population is. And it was only 2 of them, but it was, general enough.
2's enough.
So, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, Matt Damon!
People try to put us to down, talking about my generation, just because we get around, talking about my generation, things they do look awful, talking about my generation, I hope I die die before I get old. Talking about my generation. This is my generation, baby. Why don't you all fade away? Don't try to dig what we all say. I'm not trying to cause a big sensation. I'm just talking about my generation. My generation. This is my generation, baby.
Live from the TV10 studios, Matt Damon! So good to have you. So good to have you. Good to be here. Let's see you. Sorry, we don't have many chairs.
This is a great stool. It shows the rank because I'm above all of you.
Thank you.
Just true. Just true.
You are a Hollywood actor. We're just live from
I am famous.
TV10 studios. This is the real Matt Damon, everyone. Matt, can I call you Matthew Damon?
Sure.
Sure. So Matthew, how long have you been Matthew Damon?
My whole life, really. I have been Matthew Damon. I was born that way. Coming out of Massachusetts, outside of Boston, that's where I'm from.
You don't really sound like that.
Yeah, your accent, you're really...
Well, you see, here's the thing. When you
deal.
go into movies, they want to change your accent for every single one. So you guys just know my different characters. You don't know the real me.
That didn't really make your movies any better.
Well, I would just like to say, in the meantime, that I think you're getting me confused from my good friend Matt Damon, or you're possibly getting me confused with that butthole Jimmy Kimmel, who shows a lot of hatred towards me, even though I'm far superior than him in the whole chain of things.
Yeah, he's got a terrible time slot too. I mean, look at Handful of Handsome. We've got the best time slots.
Millions of viewers and
Some nights Tuesdays, some nights Thursdays, hopefully Wednesdays at some point in time.
Maybe next week
We
could be
don't
on
know.
Wednesday. Who knows?
We'll see.
Who knows?
So, when I was watching Saving Private Ryan, I thought the only private that needs saving is me.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, Matt, as we know, you are a very versatile actor. You've been in a lot of different movies. I actually have a T-shirt of one of my favorite movies of yours right now. This is Bourne Ultimatum.
Of course.
It's my third favorite Bourne movie. I like the one with the other guy, the remake. I like that one the best. But that's just me. But
Did you just bring me out here? Did you fly me all the way here so you could just make fun of my movies? Like, what's going on here, dude?
I don't know what you're talking about. But I am gonna have to disagree with you, Tyler. The Bourne series kind of made me wish that I hadn't been born.
He went there. Can I get a reggae horn, please?
You can diss my movies all you want.
Wait for it.
Zing! You can diss my movies all you want. Doesn't change the fact that you still paid me to come here. I'm still making money being here. You paid me to come here. So can you at least give me a decent, something decent to go on? Can we talk about good movies? Ocean's 11. You can't say you didn't like Ocean's 11. I worked with George Clooney and Brad Pitt, the finest actors there.
I like the original better. I like the Rat Pack.
Nobody watches everybody watches Ocean's 11. Everybody loves Ocean's 11. Andy Garcia, are they good?
I'm more of a Sammy Davis Jr. kind of guy.
No disrespect. No disrect to the original. That was absolutely excellent. But it needed to be brought up into a modern time, Modern robbery.
Yeah.
And then we beat it again with Ocean's 12, which I thought was an excellent movie. Most people thought sucked. And we even went after it a third time with Ocean's 13 when a lot of people thought we should have quit long before then. We kept going. We charged through. We said no to the naysayers. And Ocean's 13 ended up being more successful than Ocean's 12.
Well, I will admit that you were relentless in filmmaking. But, we do respect you. We don't disrespect you. And because of that, we want to show one of our favorite clips ever with you on it. You may remember this. So we'll just play the clip and see if it jogs any memories.
Oscar-worthy right here.
Roll the
Take a
clip.
look.
Excuse me. As Aretha said to Gloria, Celine, Shania, and Mariah during Divas Live. Are you tripping? No one interrupts the queen of soul, bitch, okay? Well, I believe she also said, hey, Cuba, Canada, cowgirl, crazy, get out of my light and away from my snacks, bitch.
That was you.
That was the best performance I've seen, and that's saying something.
I mean, gosh, you know, Will and Grace, you got to have Will.
Talk about a show that broke down barriers. We saw a prominent homosexual couple in that show. Before then, that was like totally taboo. We broke down barriers, and I'm proud to say I was a part of it, and I was involved in Will and Grace.
Yeah, you were only a guest star in one episode, but I was.
That was.
My name is still in the credits.
Yep, you played Jack. No, Jack is a character in the show. I think I've only watched that episode, and that's.
Well, you picked a good episode to watch. How do you know I wasn't in all the other episodes then if you didn't watch it?
Wikipedia.
IMDb, actually. I checked it out before you came on. Could
So
use,
then you're
it could
familiar
use a
with
little
all my good
padding,
work.
to be honest. Might want to take up some more guest appearances. You know,
He's kind of been out of the spotlight, you know, for a few years. You know, kind of going downhill, so we didn't really.
That's
know
not true.
too
I've been
much.
in lots of big name movies recently.
Okay.
That's true. Well, you got some coming out later this year too. I think I didn't really take the time to look. It doesn't really.
I've also focused a lot on my philanthropy, giving back.
Okay,
That
well,
kind of
that's
stuff.
enough time for Matt Damon. It's nice having you here, and hope to have you again sometime.
No.
That was our only stool.
Thanks for coming.
Well, that was Matt Damon, everybody. That was our best celebrity appearance we had yet.
I think they'll get better than that. You went a little low ball. And
I think so too.
It's
Well,
gonna get better. I promise.
With that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll see you after that. And wow, just think about that, Matt Damon. It's a real.
And then this guy goes and sits next to her.
And at first it was only a little bit awkward.
Then I noticed she wasn't really into him.
He was being really pushy about everything. Come on, honey. I know you like it.
I realized what I was seeing, and
I didn't want to watch anymore. I wanted to get out of there. But
What if that was my friend or my sister?
I couldn't just leave her there alone with that guy.
I stepped in.
I stepped in.
So I stepped in.
I went up and said, I need to talk to you really quick in private.
I just stepped in and said, hey man, she's not into you. This isn't cool.
He apologized and left.
He wasn't real happy about it, but he backed off.
It was super awkward.
But I'm glad I did it.
I'm glad I did it.
And I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I stepped in.
I'm glad I stepped in.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the Matt Damon experience.
Yeah, better
Now-
than we did.
Yeah,
I hope
better
so.
than we did. He's kind of a jerk.
You can say that again.
So, we are going to introduce our new segment. This is Real Talk, where we talk about movies. Let's see an intro, shall we? Okay.
Sweet. Are we gonna roll?
Am I on for 12 minutes?
No.
Clay, so you went through the brave task of seeing 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, in fact, I don't have a car, so I had to take a bus out there, which lasted me from 2 in the afternoon to 7:30. That was my whole afternoon just to go see this thing.
It's a date right there. That's not-
Well, I've heard this movie lasts with you for a lifetime. In some ways aren't positive ways.
Let me read you some prose from the original book that this lovely masterpiece is based off. I eye Christian's toothbrush. It would be like having him in my mouth. I feel the bristles on the toothbrush. They are damp. He must have used it already. Glancing at sugar, I squirt toothpaste on it. Brush my teeth. Double time. I feel so naughty. Ooh, it's such a thrill.
Ooh, I got goosebumps on my goosebumps.
Creative,
Look at that.
creative writing major, I give up. No.
That's interesting piece of film.
Wait, so what is a toothbrush supposed to be? It's damp. It's got bristles. Is that supposed to be?
Let's not go. I do not want to overthink that. Okay, so yes, I did go and see this movie.
Let's. Okay, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Let's see the trailer for it before we talk about it to kind of set the mood.
It's terrible.
So this is just an interview for the newspaper. I just have a couple of questions. Mr. Gray will see you now. What was he like? He was polite, intense, smart, really intimidating. Do you have any interests outside of work?
What about you? I'd like to know more about you.
There's really not much to know about me. Look at me.
I am.
To what do you owe your success?
I exercise control in all things, Miss Steele.
It must be really boring.
I'm incapable of leaving you alone.
Then don't.
I had a rough start in life. You should steer clear of me. I don't do romance. My tastes are very singular. You wouldn't understand.
Enlighten me then.
Well, I am cleaning the puke out of the back of my throat. So that sets quite an image out for moviegoers. I mean, I wouldn't even really know what to expect. I'm guessing a lot of sex?
Not as much as you'd expect. It's mostly like an hour and 45 minutes of filler.
So we need more sex, is what you're saying.
No, it's bad sex.
It's
it is
bad
like the
sex.
worst film sex. Like, maybe not the worst film sex. I've seen The Room, but
Yeah.
oh god, like nothing in this thing really works all that well. Like the writing, there's no plot. It's just two people who don't belong together, just like doing stupid stuff. The dialogue, it's terrible. The dialogue is awful. It's like the script was written by a really strict matronly grammar teacher who refuses to use any contractions whatsoever. Everyone speaks like, I cannot do this. I will not do this. And then, it's so bad. It's so wooden. Acting.
Yeah. Poorly written.
Yeah, poorly written.
Doesn't transform them into a movie too well. Is why, yeah. I don't know what would drive. I mean, for me personally, I would not want to see that.
It's just, oh god. And then there's directing. It's shot okay. It's like a competent director. Fun fact: for better or for worse, 50 Shades of Grey has the highest opening weekend for a female director in history. So
that's crazy. How much did it make? Do you know?
Too much.
Probably. I think it was like 200, at least 250 million, maybe 200.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's a lot in like 6 days or whatever.
Yeah, everything is really, for lack of a better word, it's gray. Like visually, like that's the entire color palette, and they do a really good job of keeping it consistent that way. But it's really boring. So,
So it's boring. So I know it's a movie about bondage, but would you say that you felt like a prisoner while watching the movie?
Yes.
Well, I would hate to be the janitor mopping up or
was
cleaning
just-
those seats off after.
Oh,
I do not know.
Wait, at the movie theater? Or?
At the movie theater.
Oh, God.
bodily fluids everywhere.
Yeah. Oh.
It was weird. Like one of the people there, like it was mostly women and like both young and old. But there's this one guy who looked like he was by himself, but he looked like he walked straight out of Duck Dynasty. I have no idea why he was there.
Phil Robinson or whatever.
Yeah, I don't keep up. I know they're. Are they like part duck? Like that's the show. Like they're half duck, half human or something.
You just nailed it. That's what they under the TV guide. The description.
So speaking of nailing it, so the sex was not good. Is that what you said? Like
Not
that's
really.
that's what you come to see. Like
I mean, I've seen better, like a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think it's funny, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So
think everything's
what kind of acts can we expect in it? Like pegging, any 69, 71, T jobs, B jobs, H jobs?
There's some ice cubes. There's a little bit of whipping and spanking, but nothing beyond that really. You just see like a lot of face shots. A lot of that. There's really nothing. It's not even all that sexy. Even if you're into S&M, like you can find better stuff like out on the internet, like way easy. Why would you pay what $12 just to go see this thing? Go see SpongeBob. Save your porn for at home.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So, do you have what's your final say
All right.
on this film?
Well, it's boring when it's not creepy. If you turn off the safe search on your Google, you will likely find superior, sexier stuff than 50 Shades of Grey. That will probably have a better story too. I give it 2 out of 6 spankings.
Well, you heard it, folks. 50 Shades of Grey is more gray than yay. And I've also heard that it's not supposed to be a good representation of bondage, sadomasochism.
I've done a little bit of research on it, and S&M people are if you like S&M, which as far as I've done some research on it, it's all about like keeping everyone happy within it. But this movie is just like you are a weirdo and a freak, and I will look at you funny if you do that.
Yeah, I hear the relationship isn't quite the healthiest, or at least in our package. That's what Michael had to say, and that's what I've heard. So
like, it's just not very good. Doesn't have good themes, and it's just not well made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard there's no safe words either, or anything like that, which is a big part of the.
There are, but it's just not very well handled overall. It's Christian Grey's like really creepy, and he like breaks into her house to say. He says that she has that Anastasia Steele, Grey Steele. She can walk out whenever, but she can't. He's creepy. He sells her car just to get her a new one. He goes to her hometown in Georgia.
Well,
it's not right.
I hope this would never happen to any of our BNN reporters, our journalists here. So,
So, with that, everyone, that is the end of our show. Thank you so much, Clay, for coming on. You can expect to see Clay on future segments. This is Real Talk.
Fear me.
And we will be getting a Facebook page very soon. It's just made. I'm the first one to like it. So
second, right?
Yeah.
There's a Facebook page.
I even liked our cover photo. Yeah.
It's in the works. So you can expect to see more updates. Hopefully we'll be uploading some more footage. And with that, we bid you a very good night live from the TV10 studios. Have a good night.